Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about whether you should be upgrading your gear now or if you should be saving all of your resources until next month. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the answer for this question is actually super simple. If you can do all of the content that you want to do comfortably and you're having a good time and you're not struggling with any of the content, there is no need to upgrade. This is one of the main reasons that on ship 4, I'm still actually using a Koklophis katana. I did not upgrade my katana to a Neo-Astron weapon simply because of the content that I do on ship 4 does not require a Neo-A weapon. Because I do not do gigantics, I do not do dual quests, I don't do any content in the game that requires high-end gear, which is why the Koklophis weapon is perfectly fine for me, since the majority of the content that I do on ship 4 is combat zones as well as the limited time quests, and that's about it. It's nothing crazy. However, if we look at my ship 2 character over here, you can see I'm fully decked out. I have a Neo-Astron katana with a fixed attack level 3. I've got all of my armors over here with HAL Finale, Addi Capsules, Masteries with Fixa Guard 5, as well as another 2 with Fixa Guard 4s. So I'm fully pimped out on ship 2. And the reason for this is because ship 2 is my main ship, and all of the content that I tackle on ship 2 is relatively more higher end. I enjoy doing the dual quests, I enjoy speed running urgent quests, I enjoy speed running the limited time quests. I just enjoy killing things extremely fast and extremely efficiently. And that's why I'm willing to invest tens of millions of Meseta to gain that extra 3%, 5% potency. It's not a very big gain in potency. However, at the end of the day, I want my ship 2 character to be as powerful as she can, which fits my personal playstyle. Now, can I get my potency a lot higher? Yes, I can. I believe you can aim for 111% potency. I think that's what Spook has right now, and it's absolutely insane. It's so much damage, but you literally die in one hit. So it doesn't really fit my playstyle because, as I have said many times before, my playstyle is more of a bruiser, tankier type of build. I like to be able to take a couple hits and deal decent damage, and I'm not a big fan of the full glass cannon type of playstyle. But enough about me, let's talk about you. So in order to determine whether you should be upgrading now or not, you need to look at the content that you enjoy doing. If you just like to do PSE burst farming, then you're perfectly fine with whatever gear you want. My rule of thumb is literally take whatever is available in the seasonal shop right now, and if the gear that you can get from the event shop is better than whatever you're using now, then use the event shop gear. The event shop gear should be your baseline. At the very least, you should be using the Epitus Armor Vita over here from the event shop simply because it's a very balanced build. If you look over here, it gives you 13.6% potency on everything, 50 HP as well as 2 photon power, and that is only with 4 augments. That means you still have a free augment slot over here, which you can slot in whatever augment you want in order to fit your personal playstyle, whether it be more potency, more photon power, more HP, whatever you want. Another thing that you could replace is your triple bull over here. This just gives potency plus 2%, but let's say that you play a range class, you know, maybe you're playing a Slayer, then you might want to replace the triple bull over here with a precision 4, for example, which gives you 3% range potency, because since you're playing Slayer, you only care about the range potency and you don't need all potency. So you can customize your augments over here in order to fit your personal playstyle and adjust the armor so it benefits whatever class you are playing. And so if the current armor you're using already has more than 13.6% potency, save your resources. Don't invest anything else, just keep saving all of your resources. And so when the Ultra Evolution update kicks in next month, you'll have all of the Meseta, you'll have some capsules saved up, and you'll be able to do some big upgrades in order to get your character much stronger. Now, the next question I get asked a lot about is what weapon should I be using? Again, it's going to depend on what type of content you're doing. If you're like my ship 2 character where you're constantly doing dual quests and you're speed running content like Geometric Labyrinth rank 2, then you just want to stick with your Neo-A weapon. However, if you're like my ship 4 character where you're just running limited time quests, combat zones, it's perfectly fine to use the Revita weapons. The Revita weapons are actually extremely strong against seasonal enemies simply because you've got this augment right here that gives you 5% potency, 20% crit rate, as well as 25% damage resistance against seasonal enemy, and you also get Dark Exploit 2, which gives you an additional 4.5% potency against enemies weak to dark. It just so happens that all of the seasonal enemies are weak to dark. So you can take take full advantage of these two augments over here, which actually gives you 9.5% potency that isn't shown on your stat sheet. So when you look at your stat sheet, you're like, oh, I don't have that much potency, but you need to remember that these potencies over here are hidden values and they're not going to show on paper. However, when you hit the enemies, you're going to be hitting those big juicy numbers, and it's going to make your combat zone farming or your limited time quest farming a lot smoother if you do decide to use these weapons if you don't have an endgame Neo A weapon already. Now, if you have a endgame Neo A weapon, so that means that it's enhanced to plus 60 and its weapon potential is unlocked to level 6, then it's perfectly fine to use the seasonal weapon as a placeholder if you want. However, I advise against investing into the seasonal weapon. So you can pick up the seasonal weapon from the shop, enhance it to plus 60, add an extra augment over here, but do not unlock the weapon potential level 6 unless you do have a lot of photon chunks 2A and 2B, simply because it's not really worth it in my personal opinion, because you're literally going to be using this weapon for 1 month only, and once the seasonal event goes away, this weapon is going to be pretty much useless and you're not going to touch it again. So to recap, if the seasonal shop armors and weapons are better than what you have right now, please upgrade to those because they're pretty much free. You get seasonal points from farming the combat zones as well as the limited time quest. You're going to use those seasonal points, pick up those armors, pick up those weapons, and equip them, and you're going to be stronger than what you are in your current state. However, if you already have a Neo A weapon, you already have fully pimped out armors with Mastery 4, and the key number that you want to look at for your armor is your armors need to give you more than 13.6% potency. If it's above that number, then you're going to be fine. Just stick with whatever you have right now. And just save your resources until next month when we get the Ultra Evolution update, because then we get the level cap increase and we're going to get a whole bunch of new gear. Now, something that I want to warn everyone is about your Addi Capsules. If you have a bunch of these Addi Capsules sitting around and you're planning to sell them as an investment and you're trying to cash out, I would be a little bit careful about it, because when we do get the Ultra Evolution update, we get new gear, we get probably Mastery 5 as well as new capsules and stuff. We potentially might get a new support scratch, which will probably give us new Addi Capsules. The current Addi Capsules gives us 3% of 2 separate potencies. I would not be surprised if we get a new support scratch, which is going to give us 4% potency for 2 stats. And if that does come out, then all of the current Addi Capsules are going to lose their value, because they're not going to be the best in slot anymore, and people are going to be chasing the next best thing, and you're going to lose a lot of money if you've invested a lot into these Addi Capsules. So just a friendly reminder, if you're sitting on a lot of these Addi Capsules, you might want to sell them relatively quickly before the next NGS headline, because if there is a support scratch in that NGS headline, those capsules might lose a lot of value.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!